Today we are joined by filmmaker Warren Pereira. We interviewed him on a previous live stream, but the timing for this could not be better because Warren, the director of Tiger 24, the trailer is in the description of this YouTube video. So check out the trailer for Tiger 24. It's also on the Film Threat YouTube channel. Just look up Tiger 24. It is opening in theaters this weekend, Friday, September 30th. It will be at the Laemmle in North Hollywood. Is that right, Warren?
Uh-huh. That's
Cool.
right.
And just want to say that, we talk about a lot of things on here. You showed up early and you were seeing us talking about stuff that, like She-Hulk or stuff that we didn't like. You briefly saw the thing about Cocaine Bear. There's a lot of weird things that we see.
Yeah.
Some stuff worth checking out, some stuff that is just not great. Tiger 24, tell us what the status of the film is. And also, just for people like in the chat that are interested in indie filmmakers, you are basically, you have some help, but you're self-releasing this movie theatrically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were theaters that were interested nationwide earlier this year that we were able to go in there. They wanted to take a chance, like in the old school way. And that's what we did. It's not really a moneymaker. I think it's more like a loss leader for other stuff like reviews and, saying you were in theaters, maybe people will remember, and also the experience. I still believe in the experience, the theatrical experience, right? And for me, it's a control thing as well, because people are less likely to be on phones, screwing around when they're watching a movie. They probably don't have a good surround sound system for the most part. So now you get to see the movie, in surround sound on a big screen. And there's something about, looking into an image versus, looking at it. And I think, in the theater, you're looking, in the image because it's significantly bigger than your home screen.
And what exactly goes into, you're at the Laemmle in North Hollywood. What other theaters?
Well, for LA, it's just Laemmle, but we were, in living room theaters in Florida, in Oregon, in Indianapolis. We were at the Broadway Metro in Eugene. We were at the Savoy Theater in Vermont. So we've been around the nation, but it's an indie release, right? So we're not really able to do it simultaneously, all at the same time, because I don't have that kind of P&A or budget behind it. So it's basically me calling the theater owners literally and be like, hey, do you want to show this? And they're like, yes or no.
And so it's got a decent release in all these cities: Eugene, Oregon; Montpelier, Vermont; Portland; Boca Raton, Florida; Indianapolis. And that's pretty impressive. And part of the reason you're releasing it, and this is something that people should know, the rules for the Academy, in order to be qualified for an Oscar, you have to play in theaters. What are the rules behind that?
Well, yeah, for a doc, you got to play a full run for at least a week. It's got to be at least 3 shows a day. One of them's got to be at prime time. So that is what we're doing. And honestly, initially, we had an investor that wanted to push this Oscar run thing, but he went dark for his good reasons, and so we're still doing it. So I don't think we have a shot, because the reality is, you need a big campaign and you need all these reviews and a huge publicist or multiple publicists and all these things that if I keep doing them, I'll literally die. It's like there's just so many things to do that are beyond the scope of filmmaking. It's like I gotta, okay, what am I putting on Instagram, and which reviewer am I trying to bug or whatever. It's like there's so many things beyond making the movie these days that it's the reality, but it's also a little frustrating. And just like this weekend, I got people ask well, where do I go? Can I get a free ticket? And I'm like, I financed the movie. Why don't you buy a ticket for $14? It's like, that's just how this is. But I still am doing it because I'm like, I know it's not going to make any money theatrically, but I believe in this process, and I believe the few people that will come and actually pay for the ticket, come to the Q&A screenings, will get something different from just waiting for it on VOD when they're on 7 different social media things while watching it.
Right. So will you be at the screening at the NoHo Hollywood?
It's a Lemley, Santa Monica, just to be clear.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Lemley, Santa Monica.
Lemley, Santa Monica. So yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are Q&A screenings, right, at 7:30. And the Friday one sold out. The Saturday, I think, is almost sold out. The Sunday is still a bunch of seats open. If so, people want to come and ask me questions, I'll be there for those. The other shows are like pretty much dead right now. So hopefully somebody will get some tickets for that.
Well, people want to go to the Q&A screenings. I personally love like if there's a screening where the director is going to be there, like that adds so much more to the experience, which I love. Let's go to some chat questions here. Cam's Crash Courses says, I'm in Vermont. I'm going to check it out. Awesome. That's great. Appreciate that. And Jules Verne says, why not Cocaine Tiger 69? That, okay. I think that's a joke. I think that's a joke. Jules Verne also asks more seriously, for Warren, did the success of Tiger King help or hurt your marketing efforts for the movie?
It helped a little bit because Carol Baskin's a fan of the film. So when we showed in Florida, she helped sell out a screening because she was doing a Q&A. So yes, definitely, yeah, it helped, I think.
I would, like, my advice would be careful around Carol. I would just say nothing. I mean, like, I don't know anything. I have no inside knowledge. I watched the first season of Tiger King. I did not see the second season. I'm just saying I would be cautious around Carol.
No, I was around her for a full day. I met her and her husband. I went to her ranch. I got a private tour of the whole place. She was great. I felt great around her. It was a lot of fun, actually. Yeah.
And here we go. Comment here. CD Stein 69 asks, while filming, what are some of the misconceptions about tigers that you had debunked through your experience?
Well, I mean, I thought once you find the tiger, which is really difficult, it would be easy to get what you want. But when you find this, in my case, a big dominant male, they basically do nothing. They just sit around all day. And then once you've got, every possible angle of a tiger sitting down, your close up, your wides, your mediums, you're hoping they do something else. You're kind of wondering, what's happening over here. You're just sitting in a Jeep, like looking at this tiger all day. So yeah, what got debunked is like they're just kind of not doing anything all day when you're filming them. You're just like watching them sit.
What's been the most effective form of marketing so far? Asks Glanuccio.
I have no idea. I don't know if any of my marketing has really been effective. I mean, I guess I would say the fact that we got renewed in theaters across the nation is a good sign because most indie films don't. So for that, the theaters themselves were fans of the film, so they put this thing on their website, Q&A. I think the Q&As, because then at the Q&As, you can tell the people to tell their friends to come and buy tickets. And, and also I realized, I don't know if this is a post-COVID thing, but you see your film, you've got 3-4 shows a day, you got the 1 p.m. show that has like 1 ticket sold and you feel all depressed. Then you walk into the next auditorium, it could be a studio film or a big indie with a big star, and that one also has 1 person. So then you're like, oh, okay, I guess we're all screwed. People are just not coming to the movies at these times. So yeah, I mean, I think just doing the Q&As, doing whatever I can. I'm learning as I go along. It's not like this film is a massive financial hit right now.
Some other comments here. Anonymous says, just watch the trailer. Looks good. And
thanks. I mean, the trailer, I'm glad you like it. We have another trailer coming out. The distributor felt like the theatrical trailer was not commercial enough, so they kind of made a trailer that was more commercial. And I kind of, when we went back and forth about how do we do that and maintain the artistic integrity, but you guys have seen the film, so there's this true crime element. So the new trailer for VOD and stuff like leans more into that. But again, that's a great like learning experience for me, which is, the director should probably not be cutting the trailer, or should, or should be aware that this thing is a product beyond his vision. And maybe, it's not exactly what the movie is, which I kind of hate, honestly, but I'm learning to accept this. That you have to make a more commercial trailer to get people to see it.
Some other questions here. John Orchard for 2 says, is Amazon Prime viable or even worth it for a filmmaker? Is it worth it?
I think for docs, it's problematic now because they don't really do docs anymore. So, I mean, the holy grail is if there's an acquisition, outright by a streamer where they say, okay, this is it, here's $1 million, and we license it for 10 years. But what's happening now is, is just TVOD. That's because a lot of these streamers just don't want to do those one-off acquisitions. I think they find they make more money with series because it keeps people there for a longer time. And the worst, of course, is AVOD, which is, then you're really screwed. But that's just how it is right now with indie films,
Solomon Thornton says, I will definitely see it. And Scott says, love it, Warren. If you have your phone out, then you did not watch it. And Johnny Fuerte says, who are your indie filmmaker heroes and inspirations?
God, there's so many. I know it's controversial to say this, but I'm a big fan of Woody Allen. I love the filmmakers behind Trophy. I like PTA, like especially the old stuff. Boogie Nights. Watched that so many times. Tarantino stuff. So all the regular guys.
And then a comment from Patrick Lemire says, the Oscars are a political campaign. That's why Miramax / Harvey Weinstein did so well. It's probably always been that way, but small pictures used to win major awards without spending. And then
I don't know. Maybe not. It sounds like you have to spend,
Yeah. Yeah. I know that Harvey Weinstein spent a lot. And then the person who used to do all the Oscar campaigns for Harvey Weinstein got hired by Netflix. So there you go. John Orchard for 21 says, here is some money for 2 tickets and popcorn. I can't make it, but pass it on to those who want free tickets. Let's help them out. We're all in this together. That's great. So awesome. Just to sum up, Tiger 24 is out at the Lemley in Santa Monica. It's in theaters Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's playing this weekend, and you will be there. Buy tickets. The Friday screening is sold out. That's good news. And then the other screenings are open. There'll be a Q&A. You'll be there directly. So always having access to the filmmaker is a great thing. And John Orchard says, here is my extra money for the 21. I can't add today. Apologies. Thank you, John Orchard, for that. We appreciate the support. Warren, also, if you subscribe to the Film Threat newsletter, there's a link in there, and there'll be a link in the description to get tickets. We'll put that link that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. We'll put it in the description for this video. But Warren, thank you so much for joining us on the Film Threat Livecast. Any final words to everybody watching live?
Please come watch it on the big screen. It's your last chance to see it on the big screen, and I really think it makes a difference. It's the only 4K footage of T24 in the world, and I hope to see you there. Great. Warren, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I'll chat with you soon. Congrats on the movie.
Thank you.
Take care. See ya. What a great guy. Yeah. Love that guy.